Coming up on iPads for Parents, it's apps you can use with your kids. Hi, I'm Guy Trainin. I'm a professor at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and I'm a father to 4 boys. 2 are teenagers, 16 and 18, and 2 are younger than that, 6 and 8, and all of them love their iPad. So I'm going to draw a little bit of my professional experience and a little bit on just the kids I have.
Hi, I'm Melissa Bieber. I have 3 girls, a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Elizabeth Bowen. I am a first grade teacher, and I'm also a graduate student at UNL who has been working on using iPads with students.
And today, we'd like to talk a little bit about apps that we found are very good to use at home. So we use a lot of apps here at the university to work with kids, especially on reading and on some other things. And we have actually a podcast for teachers, but this time I really want to talk about things that parents can find useful. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I have an app here that I think is really easy for any parent to use or any student to use at home.
Mm-hmm.
It is called Phonics Awareness. And what's nice about this is it has different sections for you, different things that you can do. So the first section is the segment section.
If I say cup slowly, I would say k-up. You try it.
And
Drag the parts of the word to the lines.
it really gives you the directions, and then your student can easily follow the directions to
Way to go.
build their words.
How would you say bat slowly? Did you say b-at? Drag the parts of the word to the lines.
So they're able to take these words and segment them, and then if they need to replay the word to stretch it again, they can.
How would you say bat slowly? Did you say b-at? Drag the parts of the word to the lines.
And that goes back to,
If I say cups,
we'll exit this, and then the next step, which is just the blending.
I will read a word slowly, and you will choose from 3 words by dragging the bug onto the correct answer. Guess my word. Listen closely. B-ad.
So then they need to blend those sounds together, and they just put the bug on the word. And if they choose the wrong word, it just takes them back to the center until they find the correct one.
I like this from a parent's perspective because it's something that they can do individually, independently. So you can have them work on these kinds of sight words independently when you're maybe working with another child at home.
And I saw there was something for parents. So what is there for parents?
It just tells you a little bit about the app, and then why segmenting and blending sounds are useful. It also works into, goes into vowels, and then the check yourself, which is kind of more of a game for students. So it just gives you a little background knowledge, which is really nice.
And you can look at your students' scores, so you can see exactly what they did well and not well in any one of the practice sessions. So you can start building an understanding of what they're doing well and give them even a little bit of feedback. So
yes,
that's great. Okay, so what are we going to look at next?
This is vocabulary city spelling. And when we originally got introduced to this, we got introduced to it online versus an app. So when you do it on the online version, you can actually put in your child's spelling words. And so it will teach them. And so that's kind of the concept that I'm going to go off of. But so they can work on it independently, and it teaches them
red. R-E-D. Red.
Red is the color of a cherry lollipop.
Red.
So it teaches them the word. It says it in a sentence, and they're doing it independently. And so you just
Orange.
basically go from
A-N-G-E. Orange.
Mix red and yellow to make the color orange.
Orange.
And even in the games that they play, they use the same sentences. And where it has an actual sentence that you have to put the word into it.
Red is the color of a cherry lollipop.
That's definitely,
Yes,
I know
so
I got it right.
there's a nice reward if you get it right.
Yeah.
And if you do not,
That's not right.
very
Okay.
good.
Okay, and I want to share, I'm probably going to share two things, and the first thing I want to share is PBS Kids.
The thing that drives, he's a cat and doodles of...
The Cat in the Hat came up because I think that's the last thing my kids were watching. What I love about this is it shows that they're often familiar with, and they're well-crafted shows. So PBS really works hard to generate content that kids can learn from, and here you have access to it, so it's not the random access that you get on TV. You're lucky a good show is on. You're not lucky it's not what you want them to watch, or there's nothing on. So this allows them to start when they want to start and pick it up whenever they want to pick it up. So you have, for example, Super Y, which is a great show about beginning reading and produces different concepts about word building, reading, spelling, and also comprehension, story structure. There's a lot in those. And for math, my favorite one is Math and Science with George, with Curious George. Is just, I mean, the new Curious George, I think, is just probably PBS's best production in years. So that's a great app that you can use with kids. My kids love it. They go to it again and again and again, and they do it on their own. They learn. Actually, my youngest learned to read with some of PBS's shows. So he watched Super Y and a few other shows there about making words, and just watched them one after the other and just kind of merged into reading. So that was fantastic. Another example.
The graphics are great in that, by the way.
And another example of an app that's worth looking at is Do As Me. And in Do As Me, you can teach them to make letters or numbers. And all you're doing is you're drawing on the page, like I did here, and then they need to do it after you, which now they see what you've drawn. Now, my C's are not very good. But then they take their finger and draw the same thing. And here's the second one, so you can have actually words and not just letters. Close enough.
Yes.
And the green tells you where to start, and the red, was it green and red? That's
Where to start, where to end. So kids don't actually just learn to make the letters, but they learn the right direction, which is one of those things that they really struggle with. So they make the D's, but they make it in some awkward way that really, as they try to become more and more fluent, kind of stops. Okay. So we've shared a few apps, and we'd like to do this some more, so we'd like to hear from you if you have anything to say back to us and suggestions. And we'll see you next time on iPads for Parents.